Let's talk about talking to our Hinge matches. Hey, welcome to Online for Love, your #1 resource for dating by the numbers. Today we're going to be going over an online dating app called Hinge, but more specifically, we're going to be talking about how to start and maintain some great conversations with your Hinge matches. Before we get into all that though, I do need to tell you guys about our secret opening line formula. Using the secret opening line formula, we've discovered that users have received 3 times the response rate they had before. And in case you don't know what dating website is best for you, I suggest you take our online dating website quiz. Our online dating website quiz will ask you a host of questions about what you're looking for in an online dating website, and at the end of the quiz it will let you know what the perfect online dating website is for you personally. You can find those necessities in the links in the bio down below, along with our Tinder 101 hub and more. So in order to make this video a bit easier to comprehend, I've broken it down into these 3 sections. The first of which is how to start a conversation on a dating app, what is the best conversation opener for Hinge, and good conversation starters to send to guys. Before I jump into that though, I did want to ask you guys real quick to be sure you are hitting like and subscribe. Seriously, it really does help push our videos out so that more users can utilize this information from us here at Online for Love. We super duper appreciate it. So this is going to move me on to number 1 on my list, which is how to start a conversation on a dating app. If you've used a dating app before, you probably know that it's pretty difficult to start a conversation with somebody, especially somebody who you've never talked to before. Hinge itself is a dating website that's known to have a younger audience, so you want to make sure that any pickup lines that you're using are modern and new and are sleek and have relation to the actual question prompts that are on their Hinge profile. Hinge icebreakers can be very successful even if they are simple, but they are tried and true and can be very good to use even if they are a little bit cliche. I believe that you should explore the profile of the person that you're interested in messaging first, see some of their prompts, look at some of their photos, gather some information about them, and make your first message geared around that, because it will bring you much more success in getting a response. In exploring this user's profile as well, you may even come across some things that you hate and you'll decide not to actually message that person. But if you do come across a profile and you really like what they're about and you really relate to them, then you should absolutely make your first message something about that. Make sure you're not too pushy or arrogant as well, because you really don't want to push them away in sending that first message. You want to think about something that is casual to say, something that is very conversational, some kind of conversation that you would have with a friend. On Hinge as well, there's also the option to leave a comment on a part of their profile. So if you decided to take that route, I would say that's very smart. Leaving a comment that is witty or funny or something along the lines of that isn't insulting as well, can be a great way to start a conversation with a girl on Hinge. This can absolutely save you from having to come up with a conversation starter yourself, as replying to something that is on a profile is much easier for a lot of people. Of course, there is no singular best way to do this, and this all depends on your own personality and how you think it is best to approach it. If you have learned how to start a conversation in a specific way with girls on Hinge and you find that it's pretty successful, stick to it. And if you haven't, well, practice makes perfect, right? So you're gonna have to have those conversations, figure out what works, figure out what doesn't, and that'll lead you to find your own style and way of having conversations online. You just want to make sure that whatever you are attempting to do isn't too intrusive or personal or offensive or anything along the lines of that. You want to keep things light and fluffy, because having those conversations shouldn't be burdensome to other people. Finding a witty way to respond or being funny in general is definitely a skill, so if you can practice that skill, try it. If it doesn't work, you can try it again. Hinge is one of the best dating apps out there for serious relationships, so that means that most users are going to be kind of a little bit nervous in starting those conversations, so don't feel too bad if you are yourself. Just be relaxed. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but just having these conversations and rolling with it is going to be the only way you can go about this. Now, of course, Hinge is for serious relationships, but is that really what you're seeking in online dating? One way you can find out what the perfect dating website is for you is by checking out our online dating website quiz. Our online dating website quiz is going to ask you a host of questions about what you're looking for in an online dating website, and at the end of the quiz, it's going to let you know what the perfect online dating website is for you personally. So this is going to move me into number 2 on my list, which is the best conversation opener for Hinge. There is always going to be a different or better way to reply or send a first message to somebody on an online dating app, so don't sweat it too much and don't think about it too hard. Just try to be a little bit witty or a little bit funny, but it's more important to make sure that your words are articulate, spelled correctly, things along the lines of that. Online dating conversations can be different than regular conversations, but one thing that you want to make sure is that you are going to get a response back. Asking questions or making your opener related to their actual profile is a sure way to bring some more success in getting a response. So here are some examples that we have come up with here at Online for Love that can work when talking to certain individuals. If they have a cat in their profile, you could say, "I love your cat, what's their name?" And if they have a picture of them somewhere, let's say a sunset, you could say something along the lines of, "I really like the sunset in your profile pic, where was it taken?" You can also mention their looks as well, but don't be too vulgar and try to make it not necessarily about them or anything too specific. So saying something along the lines of, "You look beautiful in that sundress," is something that's going to be safe to say, but it's also going to be something that is a unique compliment as well. And if you can't really find anything to relate to in their profile and you want to come up with something, it seems like everybody nowadays is binging shows on Netflix. So you could, of course, ask them something along the lines of, "What show have you been binging recently on Netflix?" These might not be the most juiciest conversation starters that you might expect from us to be presenting to you guys here, but they are absolutely successful and have led to people having great conversations and having first dates as well. Another great method to utilize as well is playing the 2 truths and a lie game. So this is where you present 3 things about yourself, except 2 of them are truths and 1 of them is a lie. So the other user would have to guess which one is the lie. This is a great way to have a conversation because you're playing a game a little bit. It's a lot more relaxed. It's kind of funny to come up with certain lies and truths about yourself. It's a great way to tell them about you as well. So it's something that is going to be a great conversation starter, as well as going to be a way for you to tell them about you. Of course, once your game is complete, you can then ask them to present their 2 truths and 1 lie as well. And all of a sudden you're having a great conversation with a user on Hinge. And as I said earlier, a compliment is always a good idea, but you should make it something that is not absolutely physical about themselves. Saying something like you have beautiful eyes or things along the lines of that is not something that's going to stick out to other users because they probably get messages like that all of the time. Skimming through another user's profile and seeing what their personality traits are or what their adventurous lifestyles led to, and giving them a compliment along the lines of, "You are quite the traveler, you are so adventurous, I'm jealous." Something along the lines of that is going to be a much more influential comment for her to reply to rather than saying something, "I really like your eyes." This is always going to be the better option because it shows that you took the time to go through her profile, and it also shows that you value her more than just her physical features. And of course, if you do run through her profile and you see that you have common interests, like let's say you're both into fitness, for example, you can absolutely bring that up and ask them what they do for their routine and things along the lines of that. And of course, as we all know, having these conversations isn't the easiest thing to do, but one thing that is easy to figure out is our opening line formula. Using our secret opening line formula, users have received 3 times more responses versus when they weren't using the formula before. So if you're looking to have better conversations, which can lead to more dates, absolutely check out our secret opening line formula. So this is going to move me into number 3 on my list, which is good conversation starters to send to guys. If you are a woman and you want to reach out to a guy that you find interesting, then you should absolutely listen to this advice. First things first, conversation starters where the girl sends the message first is already going to be impressive to the guy because that is very rare for a guy to get a message first. In fact, you just sending that message is going to be so impressive that the content of the message isn't really as important as you just having the courage to send that first message to him. Of course, it does always help to make sure that your message is good though, so if you do go through their profile and see some common interest that you may share with him, then absolutely bringing that up and trying to have a conversation with him about it is going to absolutely win him over. To be honest, girls are going to have a much easier time having conversations with men online because men are the ones who are expected to really step up when it comes to online dating. So when girls do step up and send that first message, even if it is just a cheesy pickup line, it is going to mean a lot to that guy that you sent that message to. Here are some examples of first messages that you could send to a guy. "You look like my Friday date. What do you think about it? I have never believed in love, but when I saw your handsome face, maybe I felt something. Was your father a thief because he has certainly put all the stars into your eyes?" These are some of the cheesiest dating phrases ever, but it will certainly put a smile on his face and will more than likely garner you a response from him. Take it from me, men are very simple, so when they see that somebody is reaching out to them and giving effort, it is going to win them over, and the content of that message won't really matter that much. However, if you really did want to hone in your opening conversation line, I highly suggest you check out our secret opening line formula. Using the opening line formula, we've discovered that users have received 3 times the response rate that they had before. And in case you don't know what dating website is best for you, I suggest you take our online dating website quiz. Our online dating website quiz will ask you a host of questions about what you're looking for in an online dating website, and at the end of the quiz, it will let you know what the perfect online dating website is for you personally. You can find those necessities in the links in the bio down below, along with our Tinder 101 hub and more. more. If you guys want to see some more content from us, be sure to check out the videos popping up on my left and right here. And I did want to ask you guys to be sure you are hitting like and subscribe. Seriously, it really does help push our videos out so that more users can utilize this information from us here at Online for Love. We super duper appreciate it. I'll catch you guys here next time on Online for Love. See ya.